of the evening, Jerwin Ancasas defending his world title for the first time fighting in Mexico. 8th world title defense. He'll be taking on Miguel Gonzales of Santiago, Chile, who's fighting for the first time for a world title. I imagine a lot of nerves on that young man right now.
Bernardo, Ancajas has fought everywhere. He's fought in China, U.S., Australia, North Ireland. I mean, this man has no problem fighting you in your home country, wherever you from, your hometown, it doesn't matter.
Have ring will travel. That's the Navy man's, his theme. I mean, this guy is not afraid to go anywhere. No. As you mentioned, he's an international traveler. He just received a promotion to Senior Chief Petty Officer in the Philippines Navy Reserves on August 19th. So even though he couldn't fight because of visa issues of his opponent, he still kept busy, and that boot camp mentality is what you can see the great shape he's in.
That's right.
Now, what's the pitfall of, preparing? It was already a long camp that he had for November 2nd. I remember talking about that, and then next thing you know, it's postponed a whole month. What's that like, Tim?
It's just maintenance, honestly. You were supposed to fight, and you just got to go back, get a little rest, then get back in the gym, and then just try to peak again peak at the right time again. So, his trainer is in charge of that.
And he's got a trainer who's he's been with forever, Joven Jimenez, since his 4th pro bout in 2010. And as well, for his last few fights, he's got a conditioning coach as well as a nutritionist. And
you got to have that.
The last couple times, he's looked a lot better, because there was a point where we saw him come into one of our fighter meetings and he was done.
I mean, you got to have that. A champion must have a nutritionist or someone that can, cook his meals for him, and also a strength coach to work hand in hand with the trainer on the boxing as well.
See the looping right hand from Miguel Gonzales. Not a big puncher. He's only got 24% of his wins by knockout, 8 knockouts in 31 wins for the fighter out of Santiago. I mentioned he wants to become the first male boxer from Chile to win a world title. And I mentioned the male fighter because Carolina Rodriguez, she won the female IBF bantamweight title and then vacated it, but she was Chile's first ever world champion.
Yeah, you see Gonzales not really using his jab. His attack is the body. He likes to break guys down to the body and then shoot shots up to the head. So expect a lot of body punching from both guys in this fight. Nice body shot right there from Ancajas. Ancajas is basically saying, okay, you want to go to my body? Well, I'm going to go back down. I'm going to go down to your body.
We already saw that Barriaga finished the fight with a body shot at the start of this broadcast, and we see a push there from Jerwin Ancajas as round number 1 comes to an end. Trainer, and Johnny Navarrete comes from a long lineage of boxers and a boxing family, so it just runs in their blood, and together they've gotten this far and they want to keep going further and further. For now, it's Jerwin Ancajas in the red trunks trimmed in white, taking on Miguel Gonzales from Santiago, Chile. You mentioned the percentage of his landed shots that are body shots. He's actually a very good boxer from the outside, but he just loves to dig to the body and get into a war of attrition, and that's a dangerous place to be in against a fighter like Jerwin Ancajas.
Yeah, that's a place where he needs to be, because Jerwin Ancajas has better legs, better boxing ability. So he wants to be up in his kitchen. He wants to be digging down to the body and making it rough for Ancajas and not allowing him to use that southpaw angles, those southpaw angles.
You see Ancajas able to establish that jab from the outside.
Yeah, when you fight against a southpaw, Bernardo, one way to beat a southpaw is to be on top of him. Take those angles away, push him backwards. And if Gonzales can push him backwards and make Ancajas uncomfortable, well, that's going to increase his opportunity to win this fight.
His name is El Aguja, which means the needle, so he's got to thread the needle here against Jerwin Ancajas. Get inside, use the jab, work the body, but get out of harm's way, because Ancajas is a dangerous finisher. Right on the belt line was that right hand from Gonzales. Ancajas can be hot and cold. In his last fight against Ruichi Funai, he looked spectacular.
Yes, he did.
And before that, you were not at all happy with his previous performance, a draw against Alejandro Santiago in sixth title defense.
No, I wasn't too happy, but his last showing, he showed a lot of improvement. He looked strong. He was quick. He placed his shots very well, kind of like what he's doing right now. Placed his shots very well to the body and got the knockout.
He's finding openings in Gonzales and creating them and taking advantage of them, as Gonzales landed a nice right hook to the solar plexus. Got those earmuffs on, does the Chilean fighter. You see those angles create that opportunity for the right hook to the body from Jerwin Ancajas, the southpaw.
Yeah, that's a nice little wrinkle right there from Ancajas.
Oh.
Beautiful shots right there. Look at going down to the body, and as your man leans a little bit forward in the pocket, what does Ancajas do? Lift him up with the uppercut.
There's taking what the opponent gives you, and there's creating openings and opportunities, and that was the case for Jerwin Ancajas here as we close out round 2 of a scheduled 10-rounder with the world title on the line.
It is a special feeling when you're fighting at home. The stakes are higher, the tension's all on you, and you have to deliver at home.
Deliver, that's what these two guys are trying to catch, a liver shot. Both Jerwin Ancajas and Miguel Gonzales. A lot at stake for Gonzales in his first world title opportunity. And for Ancajas, he needs to keep proving that he is an elite fighter at 115 pounds, because there are a lot of big names out there for him, be it Estrada, Sorung Visay, Tony Nietes, his fellow Filipino, Kazuto Ioka, Khalid Yafai, Chocolatito Gonzales. A lot of talent, a lot of good fights to be made if he continues to win.
Yeah, I'm seeing some maturity from Ancajas. He's really standing his ground, really sitting down on his punches now. That can contribute to, his strength and conditioning. And he's looking like he's getting a lot more comfortable inside the pocket. He's got a nice high guard, digging down to the body. He's not running around. He's just walking in the ring, using his jab. Counter right there.
And he has his opponent in trouble here as Miguel Gonzales is able to stay on his feet. But Ancajas smelled blood and goes for the body shots. Little low there with that left hook, but Ancajas is dangerous.
But look how short those shots are.
Yeah.
From Ancajas. They're nice short place shots. They're not wide, so he's been working on this in the gym. He looks good tonight.
And the other thing is, Miguel Gonzales is making him work for it. This fighter came in here with a desire to make history for his home country. He's fighting against Ancajas with a lot of heart, but those body shots have got to wear him down. You die by the sword, you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Yep.
We see Gonzales taking a lot of punishment to the body from Jerwin Ancajas, who goes downstairs once again. Nice right hand there from Gonzales.
Yeah, Gonzales had no choice but to get inside the kitchen of Ancajas, because Ancajas is just too athletic for him, too much ability.
Big NBA fan. His sons are named after Kyrie Irving and Kyle Korver, and his daughter, just less than a year old, JC Kiera. So that's his inspiration. He keeps him back home in survival camp, but the last 2 fights he's been going to the naval base to do his work, and you can tell the difference in the maturity level that you've mentioned and his improvement in boxing.
A man trying to knock out Gonzales. That's exactly what Ancajas is trying to do. He's sitting down, he's right in front, and Ancajas is, the way he normally fights, he's a counter puncher. That's what he likes to do. He's a counter puncher, but now he wants to be first. He wants to respond, and he's trying to hit hard tonight. He's trying to knock out Gonzales.
Good work from the champion, Jerwin Ancajas, here in round number 3 of a scheduled 12-rounder. And there you hear the final bell. So far, so good for Jerwin. With us, spending your Saturday evening here on ESPN+. I'm Bernardo Osuna alongside Timothy Bradley, the champion. Jerwin Ancajas taking on Miguel Gonzales in Puebla, Mexico. Ancajas now on the hunt. You mentioned it, the way he closed out the previous round, and now how he comes out for round 4. He's found his distance. He's found his openings on Gonzales, and he's taking advantage.
No, he's just really asserted himself. That's what I like about him. You know, he's really asserted himself. He's not just looking just for counter shots. You know, he's trying to lead, and he's trying to be defensive at the same time and then lead again.
Jim Bradley being effusive with his praise of Jerwin Ancajas. Let's get this on tape. The fans in Mexico, though, expecting a lot more. And they're letting both fighters know here in round 4. It's been an entertaining fight so far.
Ancajas has a nice jab. When he uses it, it's definitely effective for him. Setting up the backhand right there. And every now and then you see Gonzales, he'll jump in there, he'll leave himself wide open, and Ancajas will take advantage of it.
Ancajas lands 5 of 25 jabs per round. There you see that leaping punch, reminds us of Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, it was a leap. It was a leaping punch, but typically Ancajas would get hit with a shot like that, but he didn't this time. He held that phone.
Going back to the jab numbers, junior featherweight average is 2 landed of 16 thrown, so Ancajas is usually way above those numbers. He's keeping to that trend tonight. Likes to use that jab to set up everything, especially those body shots that he's so good at.
Nice counter right there from Ancajas. He saw the punch coming. You have to see the punch. If you want to avoid it, you got to look at it. You got to see it.
Yeah, that's something, what you've been mentioning about Ancajas is what you want to see out of a fighter is development. And
yes.
As the level of competition improves, you want to make sure that you're getting better. And after that lull he had, and now when we see him, and he started camp June 1st for this particular fight, which was supposed to be November 2nd, you see the fact that he's a different fighter.
Yes, he definitely looks like a different fighter. He's 27. He's right in the midst of his prime right now, Bernardo. Right in the midst of his prime. And you know, at each fight you have to continue to get better and better and better. You know, it doesn't stop. You know, you have to master your craft. And I believe that Ancajas is finally in that position and probably at that point in his career right now where he's starting to master his craft and believe in himself and his ability.
He had that lull in his career, but now it seems to be paying off, getting that conditioning coach, working in the naval base, as well as getting that nutritionist, who were 115-pounders. So he got solid sparring in the Philippines leading up to this fight. And Miguel Gonzales, well, he sparred Juan Pablo Mesa and Gonzalo Funelida in Chile. And then he went to Puerto Rico and he sparred prospect Javier Cintron. So he got really good work, especially at the tail end of his training camp, knowing that he had to step it up for this world title opportunity. When in doubt, stick out the jab. That's exactly what Jerwin Ancajas did.
That's exactly what you have to do, you know, especially in dead spots. You know, the young fighters out there that's just, you know, sitting there posing in front of each other. Get your jab working. You know, if you get your jab working, it's going to set up things for you.
Nice counter right there from Gonzales, who I was watching some of his fights in Chile, and the Chilean commentators were saying he's so good when he boxes, but he loves to be on the inside. And right now you see his effectiveness fighting from the outside. The fans not digging it. Nice shot to the body there, the solar plexus from Miguel Gonzales, who tries to find an angle and gets caught with a short left hook from Jerwin Ancajas. Little low with the left hook from Gonzales. Hit the leg of Jerwin Ancajas. Quick 3-punch combination. Good defense from Miguel Gonzales. See the total punches thrown so far, and Ancajas just a lot more active, a lot more effective, and 3% more accurate so far through the first 4 rounds of this scheduled 12-round fight.
Almost a clash of heads right there. Both guys exchanging. You know, with the southpaw and the orthodox fighters, you know, both their power shots lined up on the same side, so there could be head clashes, and their feet will get tangled up every now and then. So their lead foot, I should say.
We're talking about the power punches. Ancajas landing at a 50% clip with 76 of 153 landing. Not bad for Gonzales. He's landed 34 of his 92. It's just Ancajas more active, more accurate, and I would say more powerful.
Yeah, he's more powerful, Bernardo. He's kind of seemingly taking this round off right now. You know, he threw some big shots early. He landed, and it really didn't have a whole lot of effect like he wanted it to. So he's kind of taking this round off.
Oh, nice right hand there from Jerwin Ancajas to close out this 5th round. We're in a scheduled 12-round World Championship fight. Speaking of World Champions, Emmanuel Navarrete.
You know, he's been fun to watch. He's definitely a fan-friendly fighter, and I want to continue to watch him fight.
There's a reason Bob Arum keeps putting him on these fight cards, because he always seems to deliver. And that's what he expects from Jerwin Ancajas, who's landed at 12 out of 133 jabs, well below his average, only 9%. But then you see 1 jab landed for his opponent, Miguel Gonzales. That's not going to cut it against a fighter like Jerwin Ancajas.
No, it's not, but do you see what Ancajas is doing right now? He's being the bully. Normally, he likes to fight off the back foot. He's actually pressing the action, ladies and gentlemen. He's actually looking for the knockout. This is a different Ancajas, Jerwin Ancajas.
He took that round off. You mentioned it. Oh, headbutt warning there from Wayne Hedgepeth, the 3rd man in the ring. But yeah, I mean, he wants to put on a show. He wants to prove to the other guys at 115 pounds that he is a force to be reckoned with. And boy, there's a lot of talent at that junior bantamweight division. You see that body shot once again from Jerwin Ancajas. You could hear it. And that's really wearing down Miguel Gonzales.
Yes, it is. But you know, it's just not a body shot that's just thrown. It's a perfectly placed body shot. Like, he sees the opening and he's attacking it.
And he's digging. He's punching through the ribs of his opponent. Nice uppercut, and his opponent is hurt. And here comes Jerwin Ancajas trying to finish Miguel Gonzales here in round 6 of this World Championship fight. Gonzales holding on for dear life, and down he goes, but it's not a knockdown. Very smart from Gonzales.
Very, very smart from Gonzales.
Ooh, Jerwin Ancajas swings and misses, but Gonzales is not well. His legs are wobbly, and the left of the shot, it would have been better for him to go down, because if not, Wayne Hedgepeth had no choice but to stop this fight.
That's right. You know, sometimes when you hurt fighters, we just tend to go to the danger. You know, sometimes you got to be in there thinking, take the knee, recover, allow yourself another chance, a fighting chance to come back and turn the tide.
We talk about the lack of experience in big fights, and that may have come back to haunt Miguel Gonzales. When he was hurt, if he goes down by those shots, that's fine. Or even takes a knee.
Take the knee.
But instead, he gets pummeled.
I've been in fights where I knew I was hurt, and I knew if I got hit with one more big shot, that I need to take that knee before that shot happens.
That would have been a perfect time right there for Gonzales to take the knee. He just allowed Ancajas to continue to tee off without throwing a single punch. This was smart. He took Ancajas down with them. Wayne Hedgepeth said it's not a knockdown.
Right.
But then what happened after that, Tim, was lack of experience.
Definitely lack of experience, Bernardo. But you see Ancajas just letting his hands go, just waiting for the referee to step in and do his job to protect the
time of the stoppage.
Damas y caballeros, el tiempo 1 minuto y 53 segundos del sexto asalto. Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 1 minute 53 seconds of round number 6. el ganador por knockout técnico, y winner by way of technical knockout, and still world champion, y aún el campeón, Jerwin.